Hi, so my name is Jaron, and I studied my undergrad in management at LSE a few years ago. So I graduated in 2017, and I started my first startup when I was in LSE. My first startup, which is Artisan Fox, it is an e-commerce marketplace that connects artisans in developing regions to international markets, and we work with artisan SMEs across the Middle East, South America, Africa, and Southeast Asia. So Artisan Fox is still running. But I've recently moved on deeper into the tech space with my new B2B startup. It's called Traktion. And Traktion is a tech-enabled marketplace that matches verified growth talent to companies that they're the best match for. And we do this through insights derived directly from the companies and the marketers' past performance data. So the problem we're trying to solve is really, growth and marketing is really one of the most important functions in a business, but it's also something that a lot of businesses struggle to hire for. So I'm COO and co-founder of Traktion, where I lead product and growth. So I conceptualize UX, UI flows for the marketplace. I design product interface, and I also craft our growth experiments. So I lead our content strategy and our paid ad strategy as well. With Traktion, we recently started a kind of free 20-minute COVID-19 consultancy to help startups that's struggling with growth during this time. Because with COVID, a lot of businesses naturally think, oh, things are going to be really, really tough for me. Things are going to be really, really challenging. But what we realize is with COVID, there are also a lot of opportunity. There are a lot of companies which are focused on the digital space. They're doing really well. So particularly if you're an e-commerce company, there's a lot of opportunity right now for you to adapt your products and your marketing campaigns, because we have seen a huge reduction in costs for online advertising. And that's something that us at Traktion has been helping out with. So we've been offering free advice to LSE startups, a lot of which are SaaS startups, which are software startups, or business to consumer e-commerce startups, advising them on how they could use this time to actually launch their products and reach customers around the world. It's been quite challenging when COVID first hit us because we were in the middle of raising our next fundraising round for Traktion. So we raised our first pre-seed funding from the Antler, which is a very early stage venture capital firm and accelerator, back in August. And we were about to raise our angel round in February/March. But when COVID hit, a lot of our angel investors were hit quite badly in their stock portfolio. Right now, we are kickstarting the fundraising process again. And surprisingly for us, with Traktion, we have found that our revenues have still been going really strong. And that's because of the long-term trends that's kind of looking good for us as well. So the future of work, we believe, kind of points in a direction of Traktion. So what we do really at Traktion is we help companies make hiring decisions by using data. These long-term trends actually point towards kind of platforms like Traktion, where you're hiring from anyone around the world, regardless of where they are based, regardless of geography, but only based on their expertise alone and their skill set. When you are working in such difficult circumstances economically, it really forces you and your company to cut the slack and to really focus on what matters, on what drives growth, and what will keep you surviving for the long term. So if you're thinking of starting, a journey outside of finance, particularly in tech, I think that's a lot LSE students can offer, especially with kind of our understanding of social sciences. So for me, I see myself as part creative and part technologist. I have an understanding of tech. The understanding of human behavior that you learn from LSE is actually really, really, really valuable, no matter where you go. But I think this is especially true in the technology industry, when you have to design products for people. So you kind of have to understand intuitively how people will interact with these things. And secondly, it's also very important for growth. So what I mean by growth is digital marketing campaigns, because digital marketing campaigns basically are two things. They are data, they're very data driven. It's all about cost of getting a click, a cost of getting a purchase, but it's also very human centered. It's a lot of human behavior. There's a very social element to it as well, which is why I think a lot of LSE graduates will do well in tech if you do want to move into tech. For Traction, we see our hiring platform as evolving with COVID-19. So we foresee a lot more companies would want to tap into talent that are freelance and on demand, but at the same time for growth talent, so people with specific skill sets in marketing, they would also want to tap into being able to work from home, being able to work flexibly, and being able to work on companies and causes and industries that you're passionate for. So that matching between jobs and talent is something that we really, really want to catch on to. And that's what we believe in how Traction will continue to evolve. So I think there's a few lessons we could learn from COVID-19. One is the importance of culture and the importance of trusting in your colleagues or your employees prior to COVID-19. Most companies would say, I don't want to hire a freelancer, or most companies would say, I don't want my employees to work from home. It just wouldn't work out. But when a situation forces you to, you realize it actually can work out. And we should just afford people more autonomy in the way they want to work. That's the first thing. Trusting your teams more. Because then it's the people that are going to carry you off this crisis as well for the companies. I think, especially if you are a first-time entrepreneur, it's very important to, whatever your idea is, kind of get a small community that's very supportive of you. So you don't really need to listen to people that are just telling you you shouldn't do this. This is like wrong. Rather, you need people that are supportive. They're like, they either think it's a fantastic idea and they are both as clueless as you are, but at least you keep moving along, because that's what businesses do. You pivot along the way, especially startups. So for Traction, we only kind of found this product market fit where the idea we came up with is something that people wanted after like 3, 4, 5 iterations. And the same for Artisans Fox as well. When I first started Artisans Fox, I went to Laura Jane in LSE Generate, and she was the first person to say this is a fantastic idea. And our idea for Artisan Fox switched 3, 4 times as well. We first started as an Etsy for developing countries, where we wanted to create a decentralized marketplace for people in developing regions to list their products online. We quickly realized that wouldn't work because of the cost issues, but then we kept pivoting. But I think what you really need as a first-time entrepreneur is someone to give you that seed of support from the very start to keep on moving. My second advice is, yes, your first idea is almost always going to be wrong. But the key thing is not to be afraid to fail, like in small ways. Just test it out or pivot it, change the messaging, change the website, find new target markets, find new consumers. Maybe your product is not wanted by the world, but maybe you're trying to sell your product to the wrong people as well.